Does Final Fantasy 16 even want to be a video game? I've played about 4 hours of Final Fantasy 16, although played is a generous interpretation for what I did with that time. I fought a few things, all gigantic things to boot, but I have mostly watched and watched and watched and listened and never enjoyed. Well, I mean, I think that, I mean, if you... So, you don't like the story. Bro, gaming journalists need a reality check? Bro, here's the thing. Is like, I've got no problem with somebody saying that they don't like the game. And like, I can even understand why somebody would say that Final Fantasy 16... Like, I personally think it's a 9.5 out of 10 game. And... like, I think this is kind of like what I said about Elden Ring to an example, to an extent. Like, whenever somebody comes in and they play a new game, the beginning experience needs to be absolutely fucking amazing. And one issue that I think Final Fantasy 16 has is that the game gets better and better and better over time, but the problem is that it starts from a pretty low point. And like, I realized this whenever I was doing the dungeons, or sorry, doing like the first bosses. Most of the time, like, you're spending a lot of the time just auto-attacking, right? You're just attacking. And there's not a lot of combos that you can do because you don't really have anything unlocked. So I think that you spend too much time without things unlocked. Like, if you got everything unlocked in half the time that you did, I think that would be better for the game. Like, that's really the way I feel about it. So, like, and again, I think that this is something that, and can you blame somebody? This is the thing, right? Can you blame somebody for feeling like the game isn't super exciting if the beginning of it is boring? Because, like, you can tell people, like, I don't like the idea that you have to play a game a certain amount of time to, like, enjoy it. The game should be fun from day one. It should be fun from level 1. Like, as soon as you start playing the game, you should be having fun. Weapons Final Fantasy 16 don't feel very rewarding. Well, it's mainly a story, action, combat game. Like, that's mainly what it is. It's not really about gear. It's not about some fucking, like, leveling up stats or anything like that. It's just about action, combat, and the story, and it looking cool. That's what it's really about. So, if you go into it expecting, like, you know, deep character customization, you're not going to be happy. The game's fun from hour zero. I keep forgetting the game has multiple icon abilities you can use. The game's fun from hour zero. I think it's fun, but I can see why somebody else would think it's not. Does that make sense? 4 hours is very low. I disagree. I think that you should not expect somebody to invest 4 hours into a game and then tell them it gets good on hour 7. Like, the truth is that there are a lot of forms of media and entertainment out there. You should not have to wait an arbitrary period of time to enjoy yourself inside of a game. So yeah, after playing, you should be hooked by then? Yeah, exactly. Same with TV shows. Yep, definitely. But for a review, I do think that, like, again, offering a review of a game without playing through the whole game, I feel is very disingenuous. I feel like you could offer out an impression of the game, but, like, to review the game, bro, no. Because you didn't play the game. You played this much of the game. So talk about this much. Talk about it all you want. That's important. But don't go and talk about this and then fucking expand it into this. So yeah, I really don't like that shit. It seems to be contextualized around 4 hours. Yeah, you need to contextualize it around the fact that you only played it for 4 hours. Their feelings got in the way of professionalism? Yeah, that's what it is. You make a good game journalist, though? Well, I try to give games a fair shake. I feel like I am very critical about games, and I am also open-minded. So I do think that every single game that I have played through, I think that I have accurately judged its quality. This didn't like the movie The Shining, nothing made sense. It stopped watching halfway through. Yeah, and well, that's the thing, right? Is like, that feedback is valuable and it's important, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. Right? It's not a complete review. Start the reviewer. Further part of the story with strong gameplay. Would need to do how-to combat before starting. Maybe that's too much. I think if they just taught it to you earlier, but just ignore these articles, better give them attention. Yeah, definitely. And slow and indulgent often resents you for trying to play it. What the fuck, bro? Like, this is the problem with, like, you know what the real problem with game journalism is? The problem is that these gaming journalists have to write 10 articles a day. So you have to write 10 articles a day about 7 different video games, and everybody expects you to play each game for 20 hours. Well, you're never going to be able to do that. So what they do is they cut corners, they don't fully review the game, they don't fully look into all of the nuances of it, and because of that, they fall short and they're not able to adequately review the game in a complete way. And that's why you have people like, I'll give a shout out, like this guy right here. This guy reviews games after he 100%s the game. Like, this is just an example. Like, review after 100%. And he doesn't do review after 100%. And like, you've got people like SkillUp. I think SkillUp also reviews games. He does good reviews. Now, people might not have agreed with his review on Final Fantasy 16, but really, they didn't agree with the weighting of his values in that in Final Fantasy 16 review. Because I think that if you objectively look at every single thing that he stated in the review, I feel like most of them are true. It's just that I don't care about them as much as he does, so it doesn't matter to me. So yeah, and like there are a lot of people out there that, you know, they do a great job doing reviews. But the problem is, like, these gaming journalists feel like they have to always keep pumping out these reviews all the time. They have to be the first one to get a review out. And being first doesn't mean that you're the best. Oftentimes, it's first is the worst. It's like the review is incomplete, it's rushed, it's not well thought out, and it's really a lot better off to, like, you know, like, listen to a game, listen to like a review for the game, like maybe a month or two after it came out, and like really kind of have time to let it simmer, play through it, you know, enjoy the game, think about it, and then write how you feel about it. You see what I'm saying? Finishing first suck. Yeah, for sure. They're just playing the game of journalism. Yeah, exactly. That's actually a really good insight. I like that a lot. Yeah, they're not playing the game, they're playing the game of journalism. Why they say a serve an opinion, so you can judge for yourself, like bad music. Exactly, yeah. And like, I think that's what's also important, is like just like expressing what you value so people can contextualize what you are rating and why you're rating it that way.